Hi guys, Kevin here. Tesla today announced the Model 3. This is really big news for the car industry and for the tech industry as a whole. There has been two models before, the S and the X. These were larger cars and they were very, very expensive. The Model 3 is really significant because it's arguably the first affordable car. It's retailing at $35,000 and it's going to be released in 2017. They're taking reservations already without a number of countries, I believe the UK, Australia, the USA, etc. But one of the reasons this is significant is because I think this could really push electric cars into the mainstream. At the moment, it's kind of in the periphery. You know, we've had hybrid cars and electric cars for a while now, but no one's really taken them up. But this really could be the game changer. And that, you know, it could be a game changer for a number of reasons. One is this car is extremely sexy. It's kind of like a family car, like mid-range saloon, 5 seats, but it's styled like a coupe. The interior is unbelievable. You know, most modern cars now, they've got, you know, the little kind of tablet screen with sat-nav, etc. This car has got a huge tablet like that. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a few reasons this is significant though. One is the range. It's offering a range of 215 miles. Now that's really significant because a lot of the full electric cars out at the moment, they're only going to like 130 miles or something like that. And the reported mileage is even less. You know, I've been reading a lot of car reviews that, you know, if a car's got like 130 miles range, they're only getting 50 or 60 miles. So this is quoted as 215 miles, but realistically, I mean, even if you got 125 miles, that's really significant, and it should be enough for most people. This car can do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. That's insane. That's unbelievable for a car like this. And it's going to retail at $35,000, but I mean, it's hard to get a car like that, $35,000 that can do that speed, but it's practical. It's got a 5-star safety rating, autopilot safety features. It's got the 5 seats, you know, so it can be used as a family car. The thing is, another thing that's really setting it apart from a lot of the competition is it's supercharging. I believe they're going to be putting in lots of power stations, and they're going to, you know, really make the technology came forward enough that the car can be charged a lot quicker than before. Now, this may surprise some of you. I've got a petrol car at the moment. I'm looking for a new car, so I'm hoping to get a new car in the next few months. But I've actually got an electric charger at the front of my house. You might have seen it in one of my other videos. You might have caught it in the background. And the reason being, there was people coming round to fix the cavity walls in my house, you know, to do the insulation. And they asked me if I'd like an electric charger. And I was like, well, I don't have an electric car. But there was a government grant for certain areas of the UK, and it was to put electric cars in. Electric charging points, sorry. So it was worth about, I think the actual charging point was worth like £1,200. And the guy said, that, you know, that's actually adding value to your home. So yeah, I asked him to put it in. So I've had that charger in front of my house for like 3 years, and I don't have an electric car. Now I have been looking at the electrical cars. You know, I'm not going to say I'm a big eco freak, because I'm not. You know, I'm vegetarian, but I'm not like a Greenpeace activist or anything like that, and I wouldn't claim to be. But I do think that we need to move away from fossil fuels, and I think we're going to have to, regardless whether we want to or not. It's just the technology isn't there just now, as far as battery life, as far as charging points, etc. But the steps are being taken to get there, and I think this is really significant. I think this is really going to make it go mainstream. At the moment, a lot of these hybrid cars, those are becoming mainstream. They're becoming more affordable, and they're becoming more acceptable. And I think hybrids are a kind of stepping stone towards the full electric cars. The full electric cars, you've got the BMW i3 and the i8 and things like that, and then there's the Nissan Leaf, you've got the Chevrolet Volt and all these other different cars. They're very expensive for what they are, and because they're electric, these cars are depreciating really, really badly. You know, I've seen some of the cars, you know, they're over 30,000, and within a few years they've dropped down to 10,000. Depreciation is really high. But the reason is there's not enough charging points, and you know, the batteries aren't lasting as long as they should be. But I think this is going to really be a game changer. It looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what this is like next year. I'm kind of in a predicament because I'd love to take a chance on an electric car just now. You know, I've got a charging point. I've actually looked at the possibility of getting an electric car. I can't afford one, but the problem is, if I go to training and, I go into Glasgow and things like that, my round trip could be 50 or 60 miles in the one day. And I've been reading a lot of these cars that even with a full charge, you're only going to get about 50, 60 miles out of these places. So I really don't want to be put in the position where I can't get home because, I've run out of power. And that's the situation I'm in just now. I mean, if you could get the range extended a little bit, there's a couple of cars out there that have, and I'm sure you know how hybrids work. I'll go back a little bit. The hybrids work, they're petrol and electric, and the electric can be used up to like 30 miles and just used on the battery alone. But when you brake, it charges the battery. But then over that, when you need a bit of oomph and you're travelling at higher speeds, the petrol or the diesel, whatever, kicks in. They've got the kind of a flip side of that. They've got a full electric car, but with a range extender. And the range extender works as, you've got essentially the battery, but then when the battery runs out, you have a little tiny petrol engine, and the petrol engine can then be used to recharge the battery. It's kind of like an emergency to extend the range. And that's another stepping stone, so you've got your petrol and diesel, then you've got your hybrid, then you've got your electric with range extender, and then finally you're going to have full electric. And I think at the moment it feels really risky for me to buy a 100% electric car. There are charging points about, but it's just, even like a lot of the stations I go to fill up my tank, they don't have electric charging points and things like that at the moment, so I don't think we're there. But within the UK at least, they're taking steps to move this forward. There's more and more charging points every year. The government are starting to punish people with older diesel engines that got high emissions, and they're pushing people towards electric and more ecological friendly cars, hybrids and electric cars. And I think this is fantastic. I can't wait for it, because at the moment I'm spending about £200 on fuel a month. My old BMW has terrible mileage, which is terrible miles per gallon, which is why I'm buying a new car. I'm getting about 25 miles per gallon. It's quoted as 35, but I get about 25, 26. And this is one of the reasons I'm getting a new car. It's just so unaffordable. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about the Model 3. And I can't wait till this is out next year. The other thing is, that you're going to see a higher range, and we're going to see quicker charging points. But I think it's going to push other companies to start pushing their electric cars a little bit more as well. Most of the larger companies do either have an electric car out or they've got one in development. And the Volkswagen Group have got a Volkswagen Golf one out that's come out. It's got like 138 miles per gallon. So they are coming out, but I think this is really going to step it up. The technology isn't there as far as batteries. I believe that Tesla has partnered with, I think was it Panasonic, and they're developing all these additional batteries. They sold, I think it was 50,000 cars last year, and they're hoping to sell 500,000 a year. So they are really doubling down on this and just throwing everything at this car and everything at production. And I hope it's a success. I really do hope it's a success. And I can't wait to see how this moves things forward over the next 3 to 5 years. I think we're going to start seeing all these older polluting cars. It's going to become unaffordable to keep them. You might get some people converting classic cars to electric and things, but it's going to be within the UK anyway. They're making steps so that diesel cars are too expensive to run, because they're emitting pollution and things. And they've already taken steps like that. There's going to be more laws brought in place this year so that there's going to be higher tax for older polluting cars. Even now, I remember looking at a coupe when I bought my car the other year, and I can't remember what it was, but it was an older car and beautiful, beautiful old stylish coupe. But the tax alone per year was like £512, and then the petrol was extremely high. And they're pricing you out so that you move towards these newer cars. And I'm really keen. I think at the moment I'm either going to lean towards a diesel or a hybrid. But I think if I was buying a car in a year, perhaps 2 years, I'd be more inclined to pull the trigger on a total electric car. I think just at this time, the tech is just not there. But 2 years' time, 3 years' time, electric cars are going to be mainstream. I think the adoption rate is going to be much, much higher. And what's interesting, I think, as well, I was speaking to my dad about this, and my dad was talking to one of his neighbours. He's a retired guy, and a lot of people want to buy electric cars. They do want to. They like the fact they don't have to go to garages, they can charge at home. They're looking forward to this. But there's a lot of concerns. One of the concerns that my dad's neighbour brought up was that you can't just take it to any old garage and get it fixed, and that's true. You know, there's a lot of reservations that, you know. Just now as it stands, most mechanics, you know, they can fix a petrol car, they can fix a diesel car. You bring in something that's all electric, it's a whole nother ball game. But I think they're going to catch up with that. And it's worth pointing out that electric cars, you know, that they're less likely to break down. You know, they're less volatile as a petrol or diesel engine. And I also think that you're going to have a new generation of people growing up, mechanics, etc., who are specialising in electric cars. And this is all coming from the top. It's all coming from BMW and Volkswagen Group and all that kind of thing. And they'll be training their staff up, their mechanics up, so that it's not like you're going to be caught, you know, without anyone to fix your car. So I can understand those concerns, but technology moves forward and you need to move forward with the times. And I think this is great news. So big shout out to Elon Musk. I think this is a fantastic announcement. Please do go and search about this today. Check out their website. Check out the reviews of it, and you know, there's some videos about it. You'll see on their page. He did a kind of Steve Jobs big presentation about it, that kind of thing, big unveiling, and looks awesome. So I recommend go and check it out. The Tesla 3. Even if you don't drive cars, even if you're not interested in cars, if you like gadgets, if you like technology, then I'm sure you'll find this interesting. So please do check it out. Go to teslamotors.com/Model 3. I'll put a link in the description area, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. Please leave a comment below, and if, as always, subscribe, share, like, and all that. Check it out, teslamotors.com/Model 3. Thanks guys, speak to you soon.